Hey guys, I wanted to talk a bit about mental health today, and that actually goes into how I look today because I got sparkly eyeshadow, and I got sparkles on my cheek, and I put in sparkly earrings for the first time in like months, and I got this neck choker on that is for like healing your aura. And what does that have to do with mental health? Actually, today is the 1 year anniversary of Carrie Fishers' death, December 27th. It's the 1 year anniversary since Carrie Fisher died. And Carrie Fisher was a huge advocate for mental health awareness. She had bipolar depression and several other things. Substance abuse issues, and she was really troubled, but she was such an amazing person. And on her birthday, her death day, and on May the 4th be with you, because she was in Star Wars, Leia, and on May the 4th be with you, there's a campaign, I don't know, of glitter for Carrie, because she would wear glitter. The worse she was feeling inside, the more glitter she would wear outside. So that's what we do to kind of remember her. Now, what does this have to do with Trump and resisting the establishment and all that jazz about this whole reason for this YouTube channel? Well, the only time Republicans will ever bring up mental health or mental health reform is after a mass shooting. Only time it brings up. And there wasn't a mass shooting, but a neo-Nazi just killed his ex-girlfriend's parents because they told their daughter that the guy was a Nazi, and the guy couldn't take protection, and when she dumped him, he killed her parents. And he was obviously very troubled. I'm not trying to diminish that. He was obviously very troubled. But mental health is actually a huge issue in this country. It contributes to homelessness and is a big factor for substance abuse and mass shootings and murder and more mentally unstable people are more likely to become members of like ISIS or Al-Qaeda, or yes, Al-Qaeda is still a thing, ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Nazi groups, or all the bad groups that recruit online. They're more likely to get targeted by these groups because they're up in their rooms all day talking about how they don't want to, I don't know, they're just talking about death and stuff. And it's such a big issue for this country. And we're like there's this stigma that you can't talk about it unless something happens, or just don't talk about it and it goes away. That's actually the exact opposite of what goes away. I think it was the National Suicide Hotline got, I think it was either 20 or 30% increase in calls after the rapper Logic made that rap song about suicide, and the hotline number was the title of the song. And we need to have this conversation because the mental health of our youth is deteriorating. It went from 5.2% to 8.7% or something like that. It went up pretty dramatically. It's continuing to go up. Why? Because youth now is more stressed than people who used to get put in asylums. And that's not false, that's fact. Youth now is more stressed out than people who were put in asylums. And it's bad for the country because I've had friends skip school. Just get up, set an alarm for 2 a.m, get up, go pretend to throw up, flush the toilet, come back to their room, go back to bed, and then text their parents at like 2 a.m. and be like, hey, don't want to wake you, but I just threw up, and can I please stay home from school, or like whatever. And that hurts, because if they do that in the workforce, that hurts our workforce, because you have less people coming in, which means less productivity, and that's bad for them too, because if they can't work as many hours, then they're more likely to get laid off, which can send them into homelessness and poverty, or they work less hours, which means they get paid less, which means they can get put into homelessness and poverty. And 5% of adults said that they got inadequate care, and 52% of adults did not receive help for their mental illness. And 18% of all Americans have mental health issues. This is not something we can just look away from. We need to have a serious conversation. Why? Also, people have been saying that we need to use the 25th Amendment to get rid of our president because our president is too mentally unstable to be in office right now, and that's insane. We need to have an honest conversation about mental health, and if you need to have this conversation with your family, with your kids, with your parents, you need to have this conversation with them because it's bad for the future of our country and it's bad for your future. So it's just something to think about.